Hi, Theatrically Carlson here. When it comes to comedies, I absolutely love the National Lampoon's Vacation series. Even if the movies do tend to be a bit hit and miss at times, there's certainly more hits than misses, and I find myself laughing every time I watch these films. So today, I thought I would rank the 5 theatrical releases from the National Lampoon's Vacation series. Now, I am not including the Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure movie here because that was direct-to-television. I've also never seen it, and based on some of the things I've heard, I don't know that I ever have any intention of doing so. Let's go ahead and get started. At the bottom of the list at number 5, I have Vacation, the 2015 film. This film is just mean-spirited, and the writers apparently didn't realize that slapping an R rating on a movie doesn't automatically make it good. Ed Helms is certainly a good comedic actor, but I guess he didn't get the memo that he was supposed to be playing Rusty Griswold and not Clark Griswold. The humor here is just completely off base. I mean, one of the kids literally does nothing but curse the whole movie, and it feels like slapstick gags with one trying to overtake the other. Not to say there aren't the occasional funny moments in this movie, but when the opening and closing credits of your movie are the absolute funniest parts, that's not a good sign. At number 4 on the list, I have National Lampoon's European Vacation. It's unsurprising they rushed out a sequel to Vacation given how successful it was, but the sequel is very hit and miss. Unfortunately, it tends to place an emphasis on slapstick gags and worldly locales, but these things alone aren't going to make your movie good. What's really surprising, this was actually directed by Amy Heckerling, who gave us movies like Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Clueless, both of which are personal favorites, but here, there's just not a whole lot to go around. There are the occasional highlights, including John Astin portraying a perverted game show host, Robbie Coltrane as a hotel guest, and Eric Idle as a very unlucky tourist. At number 3 on the list, I have Vegas Vacation. I think this movie tends to get unfairly bashed a lot of the time, but it's better than people say. I like how this movie gives all 4 members of the Griswold family a story arc, so the kids actually get something to do instead of just playing second fiddle to Beverly D'Angelo and Chevy Chase. There's some great cameos, and a lot of these attractions in Vegas have closed down, so it's almost like a time capsule in a way. I guess I am somewhat biased given that I do live here in Las Vegas, but there are plenty of highlights in this one, and it's one of Randy Quaid's best Cousin Eddie performances, so don't overlook this one despite the things you may have heard. It's better than you think. At number 2 on the list, I have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The only movie in the franchise where the Griswolds don't go on vacation, the vacation comes to them. Anyone who's dealt with a big extended family and how annoying they can certainly relate to what they deal with in this family. Not to mention the working class man struggle Clark has to deal with his Scrooge-like boss. This one has pretty much become perennial holiday viewing with my family, and it's not hard to see why. There's so many great one-liners in this one, and while the first movie in the series was more focused on deadpan verbal humor, and the second one went overboard with slapstick gags, Christmas Vacation finds the perfect balance between the two, and that's why it's certainly a fan favorite. But my pick for the number 1 film in the series, of course, would have to be the original, 1983's National Lampoon's Vacation. This iconic road trip is certainly made for one of the greatest comedy movies of all time. Plenty of great cameos throughout the film. You get the best performances imaginable from Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo. And Dana Barron and Anthony Michael Hall were certainly the best actors to portray the Griswold kids. It may also be the only movie I've ever seen where somebody calls somebody else underpants as an insult. It's become revered as a comedy classic over the years, and it's not hard to see why. This is the National Lampoon team at their absolute finest. And even though some of these scenes are certainly politically incorrect by today's standards, you won't be able to stop laughing when you watch this one. It was, of course, directed by the late, great Harold Ramis. And there we have it. Of all the vacation movies, what is your favorite? What's your least favorite? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Theatrically Carlson. See you next time.